I want you to picture a scenario. It's a Saturday afternoon.
Okay.
You've successfully navigated the maze of the showroom. You've maybe had a meatball or two.
Possibly 6.
Possibly 6, I don't judge. And now you are standing in the kitchen aisle, and you're staring at a massive wall of white cabinet doors.
Just white.
Just white, row after row of them. And honestly, to the untrained eye, under those humming fluorescent lights, they kind of all look the same.
Oh, I know that feeling so well. It is the classic paralysis of choice.
Yeah.
You walk in and think, simple, I just want a white kitchen.
Right.
And then 5 minutes later, you realize that white isn't a single color. It's a spectrum. And frankly, it's a minefield.
A total minefield. And usually in that moment of panic, you just grab the one that looks fine and hope for the best. But today, we're going to stop you right there because we are diving deep into a tale of 2 kitchens. We are comparing the 2 heavy hitters of the flat pack world, the Veddinge and the Voxtorp.
And this isn't just about, picking door style A versus door style B. This is really a fascinating case study in design psychology, manufacturing engineering,
And budget.
And perhaps most importantly for anyone listening who values their bank account, budget allocation.
It really is. I was looking through our stack of research for this deep dive, covering everything from tech data sheets to manufacturing diagrams, and I was shocked, legitimately shocked, at how different these 2 products are.
They really are.
Considering that from 10 feet away, they both just look like white squares, the differences are massive.
It's true. The visual similarity masks a completely different approach to how they're made, how they interact with light, and ultimately what they do to the total cost of your renovation.
So our mission today is simple. We're going to decode these differences. We want to save you time and potentially some serious buyer's remorse by unpacking what is actually happening behind those unpronounceable Swedish names.
Let's do it.
Okay, let's start with the most obvious thing, which is actually the most deceptive thing.
The color.
The color. I think most people assume white is just the absence of color. You buy a white cabinet, you get a white cabinet. But looking at the technical data here, that is clearly not the case.
No, not at all. And this is where we get into the nitty-gritty of color theory.
Yeah.
If we look at the source material, we have specific NCS color codes for these fronts.
Right.
And decoding them tells us everything about the vibe or the atmosphere the kitchen will have. Let's start with Veddinge.
Veddinge, the crowd favorite, the budget king.
Right. So the official color code for Veddinge is S0502Y05R.
Okay, let's unpack that. I see a Y and an R in there. I'm assuming those aren't just random letters.
Not random at all. That Y stands for yellow and the R stands for red.
Ah.
This is what interior designers often refer to as IKEA white. It's not a stark, clinical white.
Yeah.
It has distinctive warm undertones. It's designed to feel cozy, classic, and inviting.
So if you have a Veddinge kitchen, you're getting that subconscious feeling of warmth. It's not sterile.
Exactly. It's a lived-in white. It mimics the look of traditional painted wood. But, and this is the big but, this creates a trap for the unwary.
A trap? How so?
Well, because it has that yellow and red in it. If you pair Veddinge's with a stark, cool white, like a bright white subway tile or a very crisp white trim paint, the cabinets are going to look, well, wrong.
Wrong like how? Like they don't match.
Wrong like they look dirty.
Real.
Or yellowed. I've seen people panic because they install their beautiful new Veddinge kitchen next to a bright white wall, and suddenly the cabinets look like they've been in a smoker's house for 10 years.
Oh, no.
It's just the contrast.
That is a disaster waiting to happen. So Veddinge needs warm friends.
It needs warm friends. Creamy tiles, warmer cane tones. Now contrast that with Voxtorp. The code there is S0300-N.
S0300-N and the N.
N stands for neutral. This is what we call architectural white. It has 0 yellow.
0.
0 red. It is crisp, cool, and sharp.
So side by side, the Veddinge might look a little like a vanilla latte, while the Voxtorp looks like a sheet of printer paper.
That's a good analogy. Yeah. Or a sheet of ice. And this matters because of the atmosphere you're trying to build. If you want that warm, lively family kitchen where pancakes are being flipped on Sunday morning,
yes,
Veddinge yellow undertones support that. But if you're going for a cool, minimalist art gallery vibe, Veddinge might look aged compared to the starkness of Voxtorp.
That is such a crucial distinction. It's not just white, it's warm versus architectural. But it's not just the pigment, right? It's also about how the light hits it. We need to talk about the gloss factor.
Yes, and this is where the physics of the room comes into play. We have data here on gloss levels.
Yeah.
Veddinge comes in at a gloss level of 40.
Which means?
It's a semi-gloss. Think of an eggshell or a satin finish. It reflects light.
Okay,
If you have a window in your kitchen or even just good overhead lighting, a Veddinge cabinet is going to bounce that light around the room.
which is a huge hack for small spaces, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
If you have a small, dark apartment, high reflectivity makes the space feel larger and brighter. It adds energy to the room. It feels vibrant.
Okay.
Now, look at Voxtorp. Its gloss level is 5.
5. That is practically 0.
It is ultramatte. It doesn't reflect light. It absorbs it.
That sounds intense. Is that a good thing?
In modern design, yes.
Yeah.
It creates a very specific look. It's
Yeah.
muted. It feels exclusive. You see this in high-end Italian design a lot. Surfaces that feel soft to the eye because there's no glare.
Ah, I see.
It creates a velvety texture visually.
But logically, if it absorbs light, it makes the room feel darker.
It does. It won't help you brighten up a basement kitchen. It's a moodier choice. It feels more serious, more grounded.
So let's recap the visual side before we move on. Veddinge is warm, yellowish, and shiny. It's the lively family kitchen.
Yeah.
Voxtorp is cool, neutral, and matte. It's the minimalist gallery space.
Perfect summary. But now we have to ask, why are they made this way?
Yeah.
And that leads us to the engineering.
Yes. This is the part I found fascinating. Because on the surface, they're both woodish boards, but under the hood, they are completely different beasts. And I feel like everything I knew about material quality got flipped upside down here.
You're probably thinking about the core materials.
Exactly. Usually we're told that MDF medium-density fiberboard is the good stuff, right? It's dense, it's smooth, it paints well.
Sure.
And particle board is the cheaper stuff.
Generally, yes. MDF is considered the gold standard for painted cabinetry.
So Veddinge, the cheap option, is made of solid MDF.
Correct.
And Voxtorp, the expensive premium option, is made of particle board.
Also correct.
Make that make sense. Why am I paying triple the price for a worse core material?
It is the million-dollar question, or I guess the $1,000 question. It comes down to the manufacturing engineering required to create the shape.
New shape.
Veddinge is fundamentally a simple product. It is a board of MDF that has been lacquered.
Lacquer just means painted, right?
Essentially, yes. It's spray painted. From a manufacturing standpoint, this is highly efficient. It's the Model T of cabinet doors.
Huh.
You have a flat board, you run it through a spray line, you dry it, you're done. It's a high-volume industrial process.
Okay, simple, effective, mass-produced. I get why that's affordable.
Right. Now look at Voxtorp. It's not painted. It's particle board covered in a plastic foil.
Plastic foil. That sounds less fancy than paint. Why is it more complicated?
Because of the shape. Veddinge is flat. Veddinge has those integrated handles.
Nah, the groove.
You know, that J-pole groove at the top of the door where you stick your fingers to pull it open?
Oh, right. The invisible handle.
That groove has to be physically carved out of the board.
Yeah.
That's a process called precision milling.
Okay.
You can't just stamp that out. You have to mill it. But the real engineering challenge is the foil.
How so?
Imagine trying to wrap a present, but the box has a deep curved dent in it. How do you get the wrapping paper to sit perfectly smooth inside that dent without wrinkling, bubbling, or tearing?
Oh, I see. I can barely wrap a normal box without wrinkling it. Trying to wrap a dent, that sounds like a nightmare.
It is technically very difficult. It uses a process called membrane pressing. They have to apply this plastic foil so it adheres perfectly inside those deep, recessed handle curves.
Wow.
If they get it wrong, it bubbles. If they stretch it too much, the foil gets thin and tears. Doing that at scale with perfect consistency is expensive.
So when you look at a Voxtorp door, you aren't just looking at a piece of wood. You're looking at a feat of complex foiling.
Exactly. You are paying for the manufacturing complexity required to achieve that seamless shape. You're paying for the curve, not necessarily a stronger material.
In fact, looking at the durability notes, a painted MDF door like Veddinge is actually easier to repair, isn't it?
In many ways, yes. If you scratch a Veddinge door, you can get some paint and touch it up. It's just paint on wood.
And if you scratch the foil on a Voxtorp,
You are pretty much out of luck. You can't really unscratch plastic foil. Once that surface is compromised, it's compromised.
that is a huge insight. So the premium option is actually harder to fix.
Yeah.
But let's talk about that premium price tag, because this is where we need to have a serious reality check. The financial difference between these two is, well, it's not small.
It is the sticker shock moment for many renovators. Let's look at the numbers from our source text.
Okay, hit me with the per front price.
If we look at a standard example, say a 24 by 30-inch door, a Veddinge front will cost you roughly $20 to $30.
Oh, okay.
It is one of the most affordable options they sell.
Okay, that's lunch money. That's very doable.
Now, that same size door, in Voxtorp, approximately $60 to $85.
Wow. So we're talking nearly triple the price.
Yes, a 2.5 to 3 times multiplier. And that adds up fast.
It does.
When you're buying one door, the difference is maybe $40 or $50. But nobody buys just one door.
Right. You're buying a whole kitchen.
Let's look at the whole kitchen scenario provided in the data. They estimated a standard layout with about 10 to 12 cabinets.
Yep.
If you choose Veddinge, your total for the fronts, which is the doors and drawer faces, comes out to somewhere between $800 and $1,000.
That is incredible value for a whole kitchen renovation. Under $1,000 for the face of your kitchen.
It is. Now swap those items for Voxtorp. Same layout. The price jumped to between $2,200 and $2,500.
So let's just pause there. That is a premium of roughly $1,500.
Correct. You are paying a $1,500 premium specifically for the ultra matte finish and those integrated handles.
That is a lot of money. I mean, think about the opportunity cost. That's what always gets me.
Right.
If I go with the cheaper Veddinge doors, I have $1,500 left over. What does that buy me?
That's the smart way to frame it. That $1,500 is the difference between a basic laminate countertop that looks like plastic and a nice quartz or stone one.
Oh, yeah.
It's the difference between a generic stove and a high-end chef's range.
Or it's a really nice dishwasher that doesn't sound like a jet engine taking off.
Exactly. So the question becomes, is the look of the cabinet door worth sacrificing the quality of the appliances or the work surface? For some people, the answer is yes. But for others, that math doesn't add up.
It really puts it in perspective. You could have a budget door with a luxury counter or a luxury door with a budget counter. I know which one I'd probably pick for resale value.
The stone counter usually wins.
But speaking of the look, we have to talk about the handle situation because this is the big functionality trade-off. This is where Voxtorp tries to earn its keep.
This is the functionality versus aesthetics debate.
Right. So Voxtorp has the handles built in. That's the seamless appeal.
It's the ultimate dream for minimalists. No hardware to buy, no hardware to install, nothing sticking out.
And there is a real practical benefit here, specifically what I call the hip check factor.
The hip check.
Yeah. If you have a narrow galley kitchen, how many times have you walked past a drawer and caught your belt loop or banged your hip on a handle that sticks out?
Oh, painfully often.
With Voxtorp, that problem vanishes. It's flush. If you have toddlers running around at head height, there are no sharp metal knobs for them to bonk into.
That is a legitimate safety and comfort feature. And it's easy to clean in one sense. It's a smooth surface with no knobs to wipe around.
But I hear a but coming.
But it's matte. And specifically, it's a matte foil. Anyone who has owned a matte kitchen will tell you, grease shows.
Oh, really? I thought matte hid things.
It hides reflections. But oil from your fingertips on a matte surface, it creates a shiny spot. And because the surface is textured to create that matte look, scrubbing the oil out can actually be harder than on a glossy surface like Veddinge.
So with Veddinge, you just hit it with some spray cleaner and move on.
Pretty much. The semi-gloss lacquer is very forgiving.
Okay, so that's the functional side. But let's go back to the money for a second regarding handles. Because there's a hidden cost argument that people often use to justify the expensive Voxtorp doors.
You mean the argument that handles are expensive, so Veddinge isn't actually cheaper?
Exactly. People say, well, by the time you buy handles for the Veddinge doors, isn't the price difference smaller?
It is smaller, technically. But the data shows it's negligible.
Let's crunch those numbers.
Okay, say you need 20 handles for your kitchen. If you buy cheap, basic handles, like the bag Annie mentioned in the text, that's going to cost you maybe $40 total.
So adding $40 to an $800 kitchen, you're still nowhere near the $2,500 price tag of Voxtorp.
Not even close.
Yeah.
But here's where it gets interesting. Even if you go for the premium choice, let's say you buy gorgeous high-end leather poles or designer brass handles at $15 a pop. That's a $300 expense.
Okay, so $800 for cabinets plus $300 for fancy handles. That's $1,100.
You are still less than half the price of the Voxtorp kitchen.
That is a mic drop moment for the budget-conscious listener. You can literally buy designer jewelry for your Veddinge cabinets, the nicest hardware you can find, and still come out massive amounts of money ahead.
And that brings up the design freedom aspect.
Yeah.
With Voxtorp, you are locked in. The handle is the door. You cannot change it. You cannot customize it.
Ew.
The look is dictated by the factory.
But with Veddinge, the handle is a choice. You can change the entire vibe of the kitchen just by swapping a chrome knob for a black bar pull.
Exactly. Veddinge offers personalization. Voxtorp offers a specific, unchangeable, high-design aesthetic. It's like buying a tailored suit versus buying a uniform.
Oh, I like that.
The uniform might look sharp, but you can't change the buttons.
I love that analogy. So we've looked at the colors, the engineering, the money, and the handles. Let's try to synthesize this for the listener. Who should be on Team Veddinge and who is Team Voxtorp?
I think we can build two very clear personas based on this data.
Okay, break it down. Who is the Veddinge buyer?
Team Veddinge is the pragmatist with style. They're budget conscious, but they're smart about it.
Right.
They want that extra $1,500 to spend on a killer espresso machine or a quartz countertop. They view the kitchen as a lively, classic room.
They want that Wiser 5R warmth.
Exactly. They want the room to feel sunny and lived in. And crucially, they want to customize. They want to pick their own handles to make the space feel unique.
And who is Team Voxtorp?
Team Voxtorp is the aesthete. This is a buyer who is prioritizing a very specific visual over budget. They want that ultramatte, absorbent finish. They want the wall of cabinets look unbroken lines, no visual clutter, no hardware.
It's the Architectural Digest look.
It is. And they're willing to pay for the engineering complexity, that difficult membrane pressing that makes that look possible.
And I think that's an important final insight. The cheaper option, Veddinge, isn't necessarily lower quality.
Yeah.
It's just simpler to manufacture.
That is the key takeaway. Cheap, in this case, means flat. Doesn't mean bad. You aren't buying a worse door with Veddinge. You are buying a simpler door.
Right.
With Voxtorp, you're paying for the struggle of the machine that had to wrap that foil around a curve.
Paying for the struggle. That should be the slogan.
Maybe not the best marketing slogan, but
Right.
it's accurate.
So what does this all mean for you, the listener, standing in that aisle? It means you have a choice to make. But it's not about white versus white. It's about warmth versus cool, reflection versus matte, and jewelry versus seamlessness.
I mean, it's about where you want to allocate your resources.
Mm-hmm.
Do you value the cabinet front itself or what goes on top of the counter?
It really changes how you look at a kitchen, doesn't it? I don't think I'll ever look at a white cabinet the same way again. I'm going to be squinting at it, looking for the yellow undertones, checking the gloss level.
Checking for the Y and the R in the code.
Exactly. Before we wrap up, though, I want to leave everyone with a thought. We've talked a lot about the premium price of Voxtorp.
Yes, the costs of cool.
It brings up a really interesting philosophical question about modern design. We are seeing this trend where we pay the highest premium for nothingness.
It's true. Think about it.
Oh,
You're paying extra for no handles.
right.
You are paying extra for no shine, that ultra matte finish. You are paying extra for no color, that neutral stark white.
It's fascinating. In the past, luxury was about ornamentation, carvings, gold leaf, intricate details. Now, the ultimate luxury seems to be the absence of details.
The ability to make something look effortless and seamless is the most expensive engineering challenge of all. It takes a lot of effort to look like you made no effort.
So next time you're in IKEA, ask yourself, are you paying for the thing or are you paying for the absence of the thing? And if you choose to pay for the thing, the Veddinge, maybe use that extra cash to buy yourself a really nice meatball dinner.
Or a quartz countertop. But meatballs work too.
Thanks for diving deep with us today. Go forth and renovate wisely.
See you next time.